Hello students, Miss Slyman here with your third way to solve using your calculator. And this is using the app PlySmlt, which is a super great app to have, and you should all have it. If you don't have it on your calculator, come see me so I can get it on there for you. So the way that PlySmlt works is that it either finds roots. Roots is another name for x-intercepts. So it's like this method, but I'm doing it without graphing. PlySmlt also solves simultaneous equations, and we'll get to that in the next unit. So the first thing that we have to do, similar to using the x-intercept method, we need to make one side of the equation equal to 0. So make one side of the equation equal 0. But then we also have to collect like terms. And we don't actually have to do the full collection. The app will do that for us. But we do need to get all the x's together and all the constants together. So let's look at this equation and how we would do that. And I've pasted that equation down here so I have some room to write. You might need to make some space in your notebook or somewhere else to write. So I'm trying to get the right-hand side equal to 0, and I'm trying to collect my like terms. So just like the way we started before, I'm going to subtract that whole parentheses to both sides. Whoops. Subtract the 3 plus 0.2x to the other side. So I've got 3.1 times x minus 1.7 minus 2.2 minus 3 plus 0.2x equals negative 4.17, because this subtracted and made 0. I'm going to add 4.17 to the other side. And while I'm at it, I'm going to start my distribution. So 3.1 times x is going to be 3.1 times x. I've got 3.1 times negative 1.7. That's going to be minus 3.1 times 1.7 minus 2.2. I'm going to distribute this negative, minus 3 minus 0.2x, and I'm going to add the 4.17 to the other side. And that's equal to 0. Of course, you could put this in your calculator and get all these numbers, but we don't actually have to. The only thing I need to do is rearrange them so that all the x's are together. So 3.1x minus 0.2x minus 3.1 times 1.7 minus 2.2 minus 3 plus 4.17. All right, so now coming to my calculator, and again, I would never use PlySmlt for this equation. This equation is so much easier to solve using this method where I don't have to move anything. Left side, right side, find where they intersect. Definitely the method of choice for this one. But all of these methods work. So coming into my calculator, I'm going to go into the apps menu. So my apps is here. And your calculator might have a lot of apps here. If it does, push the alpha and then 8, because that's going to give me the letter P, and it's going to show you all the apps that have P in them. So we want PlySmlt2. Again, if you don't have it, come see me. So this finds us roots or solves simultaneous equations. Right now we're looking for roots. Those are the x-intercepts, or where it's equal to 0. So I'm going to press any key. I want to find the roots. So this first thing it's asking you, the order, is what is the highest power of x? Well, I just have x to the first, so that's the 1. I could go down here and change this to fractions, and if my equation had fractions, or just integer values, I would, but since I already have decimals, I'm going to leave it as decimals. And now I want to push next, but my calculator's not a touch screen, so I need to use the graph button. So now it's saying, okay, you must have an equation that's in this form, so x's and numbers and equal to 0. So now I want to know, what are all the variables in front of x's? Well, I've got 3.1 minus 0.2. And I'm doing minus, not negative. Enter. and it automatically calculates that for me. So you could have calculated it earlier, or you can wait and have it do it for you now. Over here, now it's a negative, because this is my first starting number. So if I pushed subtract, I would have to be subtracting from something, but there's nothing there. So I've got to start with negative 3.1 times 1.7 minus 2.2 minus 3 plus 4.17. And again, my calculator does all that for me. So you could have calculated it out, but you don't have to. So now that I have that in, I want to push the solve. That's gonna, again, no touch screen. I have to use the graph button. And there's the same solution as I've got the previous 3 times, which is good. I should get the same solution no matter how I solve. You can see this way, I'm getting a little bit more decimal accuracy, but always to 3 significant figures, my x value is 2.17, and that's using PlySmlt.